Hello,
Thank,
everyone.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Speakers Corner. My name is Ntobuah Julius. I'm the board chairman of Newcomers with Disability in Sweden, which is a disabled refugee-led organization. Today, I'm sharing the space with one of our partner who is going to introduce himself. Over to you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Victor Beaume. I work for Caritas International Belgium in Belgium, and I work as advocacy officer on all things related to humanitarian aid and development policies. So we try to have a sort of dynamic agenda, just to make it a bit sharp and short. And we prepared some questions for each other, and then that'll also give us a space to explain a bit what we do and some of the stuff we've done.
Yeah, because we only have 10 minutes to share with each, so we're just going to have a quick dialogue so you can get an insight. So, Victor, I will quickly start with you. Why does Caritas believe so strongly in locally led action?
So, locally led action is something that's been discussed quite a lot in this forum. For Caritas, it's actually the essence of our network in many ways because we have members in 160 countries who are all locally rooted in the different communities and countries they work in. As you know, the reason why we also defend this, as you know, local actors are often the first to respond to a displacement crisis or any crisis, right? They're there before, they're there during, and they'll be there after, even when international partners like ourselves have to leave at some point. So, in all contexts, there's kind of cost-effective arguments that can be made also related to the fact that, compared to international actors, they're a lot more rooted in the local context. And even in Belgium, often we talk about localization as if it's something abroad, but even in Belgium itself, right, we're using our rootedness in the local community through community sponsorship programs with resettled refugees, for example, and also intercultural mediators. And then obviously it's not only about being effective, but about being just, right? So localization is also about self-determination, which I hope is something we all kind of believe in here. And in the very essence of that is affected communities being at the forefront of responses. So that's why we believe quite strongly in localization.
Oh, thank you. Then that gives us room to move to the next question, which is Caritas recently developed a study on this. What were the conclusions?
Thanks. Yeah, so indeed, we developed a study called Unfulfilled Promises. So, as the title indicates, we found, as many others have, that there's been a lot of talk on localization for many years now, and the concrete actions are still missing. And even in this forum, there's been a lot of talk, and we need to move forward now and really moving forward with concrete actions. And so, what we found in this report, we developed an index, which we believe is the first of its kind, where we kind of ranked the 10 biggest international donors, but also 5 biggest INGOs and 5 biggest UN organizations, agencies, based on 3 sources. So, first of all, their own reporting on localization, so on funding, participation, etc., but also from local actors themselves. So, we asked local actors to rate their donors, their partners, which is quite interesting, I find. And so, there were some interesting results. But overall, what we found also in the case studies of Colombia and Lebanon is that the promises are still not being fulfilled. Whether it's for tracking funding, that's very limited at the moment. And so there's really a lack of transparency of dedicated policies. So we're trying to use this report to kind of impulse those donors, have some accountability as well, because these are commitments that they have all signed up for and that we have also signed up for, by the way. So.
Thank you. Okay, the last before we switch, Rose. What does Caritas commit to today at the GRF? What's your commitments here today?
Yeah, so related to everything that I just mentioned, the Caritas network is pledging regarding localization, things that we have already been doing, but also that we want to keep doing, and new things as well. So regarding partnerships and co-constructions of actions, really systematizing that in programs, but also advocacy. So in my work, really co-creating those solutions, and also giving that space to Caritas partners themselves from refugee hosting contexts. Also in terms of funding and capacity sharing, that really allows our partners to be strong and durable, even if, like I said, even after the crisis, if a crisis resurfaces, for example, they're there to respond, and they don't have to rely on international support. That's the idea. And then lastly, advocacy towards governments, including Belgium, on localization. So how do they track their funding? Do they track their funding? And then also in trying to shift the decision making and giving local actors like refugee-led organizations, like community-based organizations, a say in the policies of the Belgian government, in their humanitarian policies. And there are some member states who are doing that, obviously, and we want Belgium to follow suit.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your questions, Julius. And now I will interview Julius. I think we have a bit of time for that, hopefully.
Yeah,
So, Julius, as a representative of refugee-led organization, which are also involved in these discussions, can you explain a bit what Newcomers with Disabilities in Sweden does?
Well, as I said in the introduction, Newcomer is a disabled refugee-led organization with the goal to make inclusion more easier and accessible for refugees with disability in Sweden. We network, we do project. We also raise awareness, do advocacy, especially our partners like Caritas, UNHCR, both the global and the Nordic Baltic region. And then, we also try to make sure the target group know their rights and can ask for them. Yeah.
And exactly on that point, on the target group, what challenges do they face on a daily basis?
They face a lot of challenges with time being limited. I'll just name a few. For example, there's a problem of language barrier. They have low IT skills, and because they are disabled, they were treated marginalized in their home countries. When they arrive in Sweden, the education was not on the same standard, so they have a problem getting into the labor market. So these are just the few I can name out of many. Also a problem of visibility, because disability is something not prioritized. Not many people didn't believe that refugees with disability could also be on the move. So it's a new concept to others. So visibility is also a problem.
Mm-hmm. And why is it important for you, yourself, and your organization to be at this GRF to share that message?
Yeah, it's very important because, it's a global stage where we come also to gain visibility and also, network and also discuss with state and partners about challenges and solution. And also, it's also about meaningful participation, that we are also on the table where the decisions are being taken. So this is very important for us as a Global Refugee Forum, although it's not a place of solution, but it's a place of dialogue and coming out with some concrete proposal and the way forward. So that's why we are here.
Great.
Thank you. We're always on time.
I think we're okay.